The PowKiddy RGB10 Max, Max 2 and Max 3 Pro are portable games consoles that have gained popularity in the retro gaming community. These devices are known for their open-source Linux operating system, ergonomic design, and ability to emulate a wide variety of classic games consoles. In this video, we'll delve into the specifications, performance, and emulation features of these three models and compare them to help you decide which one might be best suited to your gaming needs. I didn't think it necessary to make separate videos to talk about these triplets, and you'll find out why. The RGB10 Max has a 5.0-inch IPS OCA screen with a resolution of 854 by 480. It is powered by a 1.5 GHz RK3326 quad-core CPU and has 1 GB of DDR3L RAM. The device is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth compatible and comes with a 4,200 mAh lithium polymer battery. It is capable of emulating a variety of games consoles, including N64, PS, CPS, Neo Geo, GBA, FC, SFC, MD, and NDS, and, yes, I'm too lazy to mention the full names of these consoles, so bear with me. As for Max 2, it shares many of the same specifications as the original Max. In fact, 1.5 GHz quad-core CPU, 1 GB of RAM, and the 5-inch screen. However, it features a new ergonomic design and a brighter screen, which are considered selling points for possible upgrades. However, it seems strange to me that it's cheaper than its predecessor. Maybe it's something, it doesn't matter. The battery is the same and it's capable of playing everything, even PS1 games. And finally, the big Max 3 Pro, is it really? It is the latest addition to the PowKiddy range and features an Amlogic A311D CPU, Cortex-A73 or perhaps Cortex-A53, with a maximum frequency of up to 2.3 GHz. Some improvements here. It also has 2 GB of LPDDR4X RAM, an improvement on the 1 GB of RAM in previous models. So far, so good. The Max 3 Pro also has a 5-inch IPS screen, oh no, not again, and a smaller 4,000 mAh battery. I don't quite understand this logic, although it should support at least 6 hours of gaming. This device is capable of playing systems from the most recent generations, such as the N64, Saturn, NDS, GC, PS2, and 3DO, covering more than 27,000 titles, we believe. So okay, let's move on. And how are they performing? Well, it's difficult to find real numbers for the vast majority of PowKiddy devices other than the PowKiddy X15 and X18, which are very similar, so we can take these as a basis in order to extract something close to the real thing. In terms of gaming observation, the RGB10 Max can emulate most consoles up to the N64 and Dreamcast quite poorly. It's when you start playing larger 3D games on the PSP, N64, and Dreamcast that you'll notice major frame rate drops, audio cracking, and possibly stuttering. About RGB10 Max 2, like any RK3326 chipset, it is capable of playing everything, even PS1 games. So your NES, Game Boy, SNES, Neo Geo, Mega Drive, and so on will work perfectly on this thing. So far, for those looking for N64, Dreamcast, and PSP emulation, it's best to choose another console. Going to the Max 3 Pro, it is capable of running emulators for PS2, GameCube, Dreamcast, and 3DS, but performance varies depending on the specific game and system being emulated. For PS2 emulation, the device can run some games, but the performance is not very good and many games may not run well or not at all. Dreamcast emulation is possible, but performance may be inconsistent. GameCube emulation isn't explicitly mentioned in my search results, but given the device's hardware specs and the fact that it can play some PS2 games, it's possible it could run some GameCube games as well. As for 3DS emulation, there are mentions of users getting some 3DS games to run on the device. So okay, let's move on. And how are they performing? I'll be brief, okay? In terms of gaming observation, the RGB10 Max can emulate most consoles up to the N64 and Dreamcast quite poorly. About RGB10 Max 2, like any RK3326 chipset, it is capable of playing everything, even PS1 games. Going to the Max 3 Pro, it is capable of running emulators for PS2, GameCube, Dreamcast, and 3DS, but performance varies depending on the specific game and system being emulated. And finally, I know you wanted this, I present a comparative table between these three consoles in terms of performance classification and how they perform in emulations, with the A score being the best and the F being the worst. In conclusion, the PowKiddy RGB10 Max, RGB10 Max 2, and RGB10 Max 3 Pro are solid choices for retro gaming enthusiasts. They offer a good balance between performance, features, and price. Choosing between them will largely depend on your specific needs and preferences. If you value a brighter screen and ergonomic design, the RGB10 Max 2 might be the better choice. If you want the best performance and the ability to emulate more demanding gaming systems, the RGB10 Max 3 Pro would be the right choice. What about RGB10 Max? I think you already know the answer. Until the next video, consider subscribing to the channel, and until next time, thanks for watching.